There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and I'm back here live for your Go Home Recap Show for Smackdown on April 17th, 2026. So, I do apologize I wasn't able to go through with the TNA show last night. But we are less than 24 hours away from WrestleMania 42. Obviously, I know the Hall of Fame ceremony is going to start here in about 15-20 minutes. So, yeah. SmackDown was just really bad again. I don't know. These go-home shows are just, I don't know. They're just kind of what they are. Royce Keys, obviously, winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Said that a few weeks ago. Everything else was pretty much straightforward. Wasn't a whole lot going on here tonight. A lot of big news that came through today, though. Obviously, WWE has signed Paige. No, I don't know whether she should. I don't know if she's gonna take Nikki Bella's spot. That is highly rumored, but guess we will find out tomorrow. So she has signed a multi-year deal. So yeah, I don't know. Just very strange ending at the end with CM Punk coming out there, but also they're supposed to get ready to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony, so I really wouldn't invest too much into that. I hope that the only thing that really caught my eye was that Pat McAfee signed a contract from Nick Aldis that he really didn't even look at. So I don't know if that's gonna come into play tomorrow or what. I don't know if that's some sort of maybe he's banned from ringside or Jelly Roll is gonna be out there or what, but he sure was cheesing when Pat McAfee signed that contract. So just a couple quick reminders. Next week will be a little bit different of a schedule. Obviously, still have your Raw and NXT and your TNA recap next week, and SmackDown as well. But next Sunday, Sonny Scoops will be back April 26th, 6 p.m. Eastern. I told you guys it would just be off for WrestleMania Sunday, and then this coming up, not just Sunday and 2 days or 1 day, whatever. Not this weekend, but next weekend will be the LOT Season 3, Episode 1 recap show. So once again, wasn't able to come on last night, but thanks to everyone that came in Wednesday and participated for the WrestleMania 42 prediction show. It was a long stream, but definitely thank you guys for coming in. That being said, I do want to watch the Hall of Fame ceremony, so I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch it, unfortunately, because I'm gonna be recapping this. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started, guys. I think the views are going to kind of be low tonight with the Hall of Fame. I don't personally plan on staying up till 4 a.m. To watch the Hall of Fame, but I will do my best for sure. I'm trying to find out if it's going to be on YouTube or if it's just going to be on ESPN. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me see. Let me ask really quick. I'm gonna try to watch some of it, obviously, but I might have to go back and start it from the beginning. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. Then they changed the match, which obviously was supposed to it was supposed to be Julia defending against Tiffany Stratton tonight, but ultimately the WrestleMania match was supposed to be Julia, Tiffany Stratton, and Jordan Grace on Triple Threat. But Jordan Grace didn't make it back in time, so they had the #1 contender match tonight, which is going to be Tiffany Stratton going up against Jordan Grace. And I believe Tiffany Stratton and Julia will face off at either the SmackDown after WrestleMania or at Backlash. So, yeah, looking forward to that, which could have been on the card, but unfortunately, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be on the card. I just can't possibly think that. A lot of people are really not too thrilled. I'm trying to find out if the Hall of Fame is going to be before we get started. Because I want to be able to go back and watch it. Let's see if it's going to be on the ESPN app. So hopefully you guys had a good Friday. And it's WrestleMania weekend, so a lot to be excited for. Let's see. Let's go to WWE really quick. I'm on the ESPN Unlimited app. Well, I was. I'm like way offhand, but trying to go to WWE's page, but yeah, it's on ESPN as well. It starts at 11:59 p.m. It was like countdown to WrestleMania 42. Where is the countdown to Saturday? It's very weird. Countdown starts at 3 p.m. tomorrow. It's not showing that. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and go over your SmackDown recap live tonight. To go home show right before WrestleMania. What's going on, Raymond? Appreciate you being in. I know it's going to be a small crowd tonight. It's the Hall of Fame, but let's go ahead and rock through this. So this is the Go Home SmackDown from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. WWE WrestleMania 42 go home show. We'll see the Juggernaut coming back from injury. Good to see her back. Jordan Grace facing Tiffany Stratton in a WWE Women's United States #1 contender match. Plus, there will be an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which we saw some NXT people, which that's always good to see. And then we're also going to see the 8-man tag, Sosaka, Tomatonga, Tongaloa, JC Mateo, which wasn't Tomatonga, I think it was Tala Tonga. Versus the White Six, Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Loomis. The audios out of sync. Can't hear me? Hold on a second. You able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me now? Raymond? I'm gonna have to go listen. And my headphones not working? Very strange. I have the volume all the way up. Let me listen. Let me listen. I can hear it on X pretty well. If I listen to it on X, I can hear it really good. I don't know. I have no idea. I listened to it on X and it sounded okay. So hopefully it gets better. Maybe YouTube's going through some things because when I listened to it on X, it didn't sound like it was messing up, but I don't know. I mean, my headphones are working, so. Alright. So we're going to see the Queen Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Undisputed champion American Nightmare Cody Rhodes speaks to the Viper Randy Orton, and Samoa Werewolf Jacob Fatu respond to the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. The show opens up with a WrestleMania video package. Joe Tessitore and Corey Graves welcome us to the show as we see a red Dodge truck pull up in the arena, and out comes both Randy Orton and Pat McAfee. Nick Aldis, which I spoke about in the chats, he had a very, very big smirk on his face when Pat McAfee signed this contract. So that interesting to see how that plays out tomorrow. Nick Aldis shows up and he hands them a contract. Pat then calls him a wannabe Pierce. Tells Aldis that he reads through his own contract and that he is a self-made billionaire. Orton then says to handle it, and he will go to the ring. Pat then gives Aldis the keys, and he signs the contract. Well, he said he was going to read him, and then he didn't. He just signed it. Randy Orton's music then hits, and he makes his way down to the ring. Randy then grabs a mic and starts off by saying he will be the first one to admit it. Randy then says he doesn't need Pat McAfee. Randy then says the truth is that he wants him. Randy then says he is the only straight shooter in this company. Randy then says Pat doesn't tell him what he wants to hear, but what he needs to hear. Randy then says he needed to hear all that he had to do was be him. Randy then says, who would have thought? Randy then says they were all set. He was supposed to be facing Drew. Same thing he said every week. But Cody won the title back. Could have gained permission, whatever. Randy then said he was listening to Pat. Randy then said he won the chamber and he thought he was facing Drew McIntyre. Randy then said there was no issue with Drew, but he knew he could beat him and take the title back to St. Louis. Randy then says Cody Rhodes won the title back. Randy then says Cody and he were friends. Randy then says he couldn't hurt his friend. Randy then says he let Cody give him permission to be him. Randy then says, who the hell is Cody Rhodes? And who the hell needs to give him permission to be himself? Randy then says he wrote the book. Randy then says he listened to the voices. Randy then says that cocky son of a bitch gave him permission to be him. Randy then says in friendship, there's a give and take. Randy then says with Cody, all he did was give and all Cody did was take. Randy then says he will take tomorrow at WrestleMania. Randy then says 2 years ago, Cody needed a friend at WrestleMania 40 to watch his back, and he called Seth Rollins. Randy then says he didn't call him. Randy then says all he does is take. Randy then says at that point, Solo Sikoa was all over Cody. Randy then says as a friend, he was there to have his back, but he was put through that table after dealing with career-threatening back surgery. Randy then says all Cody does is take. Randy then says he gives the title match to his friend at the time, Kevin Owens. Randy then says, wouldn't you know it? Kevin turns on Cody, and what does he do as Cody's friend? Randy then says he has his back, and he tries to talk sense into Kevin. Randy then says he gets dropped on his head by a pile driver. Randy then says he was almost put out for the rest of his career. Randy then says all Cody has done is take. Randy then says Pat McAfee has done more to help him than Cody has done in a lifetime. Randy then says Pat will not hurt his legacy. Randy then says you have hurt my legacy. Randy says tomorrow night he will right the wrongs and right his legacy and win number 15. Randy then says he will do it with the 3 most dangerous letter in sports entertainment, RKO. Good promo there, I guess. We then see Pat McAfee in that Dodge truck trying to be like The Rock, and Nick Aldis is outside with that shit-eating grin on his face, like I said earlier. Pat then says that is what a WWE superstar looks like. He then says he put a good word in for Nick with the higher-ups. Pat and Randy then drive away at a very high speed. So we get to the first matchup of the night, which is going to be the MFTs. They then make their way down to the ring for the first match of the night against the Wyatt Six, which will be an 8-man tag team street fight. MFTs, Solo Sikoa, Tala Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo versus the Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Jay Gacy, and Dexter Lumis. The match starts off with the Wyatts charging the ring, and they go after the MFTs. Uncle Howdy and Solo then fight on the floor while Gacy, Lumis, and Rowan work over Tala, and he is eventually sent to the floor. Gacy then hits a suicide dive, and Dexter Lumis hits a flip dive. Rowan then sends Loa into the ringside barrier. Tala Tonga then hits Gacy, and Lumis hits the steps and throws them at Rowan, and he gets hit. JC Mateo then sends Lumis into the ring steps. Tala then chops Lumis. Tonga Loa then holds Gacy, and JC Mateo punches him. Solo then kicks Lumis. Tama then kicks Lumis while JC chops Gacy. Rowan then kicks JC and sends him into the ring. Rowan then sends Tala Tonga into the ring post. Rowan delivers several clotheslines to Tama and JC. Rowan then hits a spinning heel kick to JC. Tama then hits Rowan from behind, but Rowan hits a crossbody. Rowan then grabs Solo, but Solo hits Rowan with a kendo stick. Gacy then punches JC, and Lumis chops him. Gacy and Lumis then hit chops. Loomis rakes the eyes, but Tonga fires back and punches Loomis. Tonga Loa then holds Howdy in the ropes for Solo to hit him with the kendo stick. Solo then hits Howdy again. Solo then asks Tonga to work over Howdy, and Tonga hits several kicks and punches in the corner. Are you able to hear me better, Raymond? I don't know if you're still in here. But I have my volume all the way turned up. I can hear it on X. Gacy then hits a handspring clothesline to Tonga, and him and Loomis hit a belly-to-back and neckbreaker combination. Loomis then hits a leg drop to Solo and Gacy and kicks Tala off the apron. Loomis then hits a rolling monkey flip into a sit-down powerbomb from Gacy for a near fall. JC then hits a German suplex to Gacy and a spinning belly-to-back suplex to Loomis. JC then hits a German suplex. JC then kicks Howdy in the corner. Howdy then punches JC, but Tala grabs Howdy and hits a suplex. Tala then hits a running Samoan drop to Loomis and Gacy. Eric Rowan then trips JC, and Rowan charges at Tala, and Tala tries to get him up, but Rowan hits a dropkick and a suicide dive. Rowan then tosses stuff in the ring, and so do the rest of the Wyatts. Rowan Howdy then hits Solo with the trash can. Rowan then puts the can on top of Solo, and he hits a splash. Gacy then punches Tonga on the floor, but Tonga hits an Irish whip to send Gacy into the ring steps. Eric Rowan then hits JC with the kendo stick and sends him to the announce desk. Tonga then hits Howdy with the kendo stick. JC hits Loomis and Rowan with the kendo stick. And then Nikki Cross then gets involved and says something to Tonga, but he chokes Gacy with the kendo stick. Nikki then gets a trash can. Solo then gets back into the ring with a chair. Solo sets up the chair in the ring, and he sends Howdy face first into it. Solo then grabs a kendo stick and sits down in front of Howdy. Solo hits Howdy with the kendo stick. Solo then hits Howdy with the top of the chair in the corner. Solo then sets up for a running hip attack into the corner and delivers. Solo then says that it is over. Solo then hits several punches in the corner. Solo sets up for another running hip attack, but Uncle Howdy moves, and Solo hits the turnbuckles. Uncle Howdy then hits Solo in the back with a chair. He hits Tala Tonga and JC Mateo as well. Uncle Howdy then hits a Uranagi onto a chair. Uncle Howdy then knocks Tonga Loa off the apron, and Nikki Cross goes up top and hits a crossbody onto Tonga Loa. Uncle Howdy then goes for Sister Abigail, but he takes too long, and Tala Tonga hits a boot. Solo Sikoa then hits a frog splash over Tala, but Gacy breaks up the cover with a kendo stick. Gacy and Loomis then hit Tala with the kendo stick. Tala then stops him, and he hits a double choke slam. Rowan then hits Tala with the chair, but Tala feels nothing. Tala and Rowan then go over the top rope. Tonga then blocks his Sister Abigail on Solo and hits a reverse DDT. Tonga then sets up for the cutthroat, but Samoa hits the Samoan spike 4E1, 2, 3. So the MFTs are victorious. So hopefully, guys, we are finished with this MFT and Wyatt 6 feud.
Yeah.
We didn't ultimately get the Tonga turn tonight.
You need that?
But we didn't ultimately get the Tonga turn tonight, but it's definitely coming for sure. So but the winners of the match tonight is the MFTs. After the match, Solo has some words with Tama, but Tonga is not. But Tonga is not happy. So, like I said, we are headed for a split there on that. We then see R-Truth and Damian Priest walking the back, and R-Truth said they're facing the New Day. Priest then mentions they are on Raw. Truth and says Asuka put a curse on them. Priest then tries to explain things. R-Truth then says that Woods has turned semi-Sosa white and speaks with a British accent. Damian Priest then says Grayson Waller is from Australia. Truth then tells Priest he has to get it together. R-Truth's funny as shit. We then see the Miz and Maurice renewing their vows, and Danhausen shows up. Obviously, the Miz was marrying couples in Las Vegas. I don't understand why my audio is out of sync. Let me try this one more time. What's going on, Unseen Blinghausen? Are you able to hear me on the stream? Because Raymond says that I'm cutting in and out, but I don't see how. I mean, I listened to it on X and it sounded like that I could hear myself. I mean, it could be the signal. I'm not sure. You are able to hear me, or it's out of sync. I don't know. Maybe it's a signal. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully my headphones haven't gone out. But so we say the Miz and SmackDown was horrible tonight. It was when you talk the audio is out of sync. It's clear on X's end though, so I don't know. Maybe a YouTube thing. I'm not sure on Raymond, because Final Boss Baby said that she can hear it. And when I listened to it on X, it sounded really clear. So not sure what's going on. Maybe a YouTube issue. So the Miz was like marrying people. And I guess still doing it. I'm not sure, but I know he's doing it the last day or so. This SmackDown's just really hard to go over, but shout out to everyone on St. Blinkhausen. The DWE, the head of the table CEO, obviously Miami the Great on St. Blinkhausen. They are on the Talk It Up Wrestling podcast. Make sure you follow them on X and on YouTube. The audio is fine. Appreciate it. Yeah, it must be a YouTube thing. I'm not sure. But Raymond said that one of my talk with the audio is out of sync, so I'm not really sure. Make sure you give them a follow on X, subscription on YouTube. Make sure you guys tune in for the next edition of DWE Radio. And also Director Red, World of Greg, and After the Slam podcast as well. I'm going to try to fly through SmackDown, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. We see the Miz and Maurice renewing their vows. Danhausen shows up. Miz and yells at Danhausen, and Kit Wilson says they can curse the bride. And Danhausen does it. Maurice and gets sent into the cake. Danhausen tastes it. Danhausen then says vanilla. So we get a Royce Key video package. Roy says he is one of the few he knows from the East Palo Alto living his dreams. We then see his old neighborhood. He asks for a minute to compose himself. Obviously, trying to put it together there. Royston says his mom was going to watch him. Royston says she was proud of him. Roy says he has to try it because of his mom. Royston said his sister says that their mom was proud of her kids. Royston says her memory kept him going. Royston says Mark Henry says emotions are not a crutch. Royston says when you tap into your emotions, you are stronger. Royston says his mom is proud of him. We then take a look at what happened between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu last week. Great little segment there for Royce Keys as well. So I definitely enjoy that. And wow, thank you to the 139 people. I guess you guys are not watching the Hall of Fame, which after SmackDown, I really can't blame you there. I want to see AJ Styles, so I'm gonna try to truck through this. I probably will watch the Hall of Fame after this. It's gonna be all night. I took a long nap today, so I should be good. Just watching the end of the baseball game, and I was literally one home run short of like 4K. Like, it's so freaking ridiculous, man. It's every day. It's one home run short. I'm going to get their ass, though. It's coming. It's a long summer. So we then see a police car arriving at the arena, and it drives it to the parking garage, to the stage. Jacob Fatu then emerges from outside the back of the police car, and he gets on top of the car. Fatu then asks Drew if he wants to tell the world he is still a criminal. The cop actually let him out of the back, that was great that he pulled up like it. Phenomenal. Fatu then says, are you doubling back? Fatu then says, we can talk about his life all you want because he isn't ashamed of it. Fatu then said he doesn't live that life no more. Fatu then said, did you think putting him in cuffs in front of his family was going to embarrass him? But Jacob then says that didn't bother him at all. Fatu then says the police knows he ain't the same guy anymore. Fatu then says, this is where you get it twisted. Fatu then says, tomorrow night, unsanctioned match. Fatu then says, that means no Nick Aldis, no security, no army, and the SWAT team can't stop him. Fatu then says, no one can save you. Fatu then says, he wants there to be a clear view. Fatu then says, if you try to put him back in that jail cell when he changed his life, he already put that in his rear view. Fatu then says, the truth is, when he gets done beating your ass, that is where he is putting Drew. Fatu then says, in his rear view, when he gets done beating Drew's ass, that's where he's putting Drew, in his rear view. Fatu then says, tomorrow night, you're going to see him shake it. Fatu then says, tomorrow night, he is going to dog walk Drew's bitch ass. So, good promo segment there. I talked about this a little bit, and I really feel like it's a possibility. It's got to be coming soon. The breakup. Charlotte even mentioned it in one of the 1,000 interviews she's done over the weekend about one of her upcoming WrestleMania matches will be with Alexa Bliss. She said when they do break up, I think it's coming soon. You saw Alexa's gear hanging from the locker room. I do think Alexa's going to eventually turn on Charlotte. It could be a WrestleMania. I mean, they have been together a while, so we'll see. But I definitely think it's happening soon. See Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair in the locker room. Alexa talks about what she has done with Charlotte. She then says she has won a tag title with her bestie. Charlotte then says it would be great if they win the titles. Alexa then says they have to beat Bayley and Lyra tonight. Alexa then says they will still be friends. Charlotte then says friendship is super important, but what about winning the titles? So there we go. That's kind of starting it up right there. Charlotte talking about the titles, and Alexa talking about the friendship. Alexa then walks away. Obviously, could be the start. We then see the reveal of the WWE WrestleMania 42 set, which everybody was excited for. I'm more excited about Paige than the WWE WrestleMania 42 set. I am not that excited about. I'm excited about some of the matches for WrestleMania, but not a lot of them. So Damian Priest and R-Truth make their way down to the ring for the next match of the night. I am not going to go through this entire match. I'm just really not. Just kind of get to the bottom. I want to watch the Hall of Fame, so I'm going to try to shorten this stream up as much as possible. So we'll get to the end. R-Truth tags in. He has 2 flying shoulder tackles and a blue thunder bomb. Damian Priest then slams Grayson Waller. R-Truth, and Damian Priest, and then hit courtesy, or not courtesy, but in remembrance to the Never Seen 17, the GOAT John Cena, 2 double 5-knuckle shovels. Damian Priest and R-Truth then hit an assisted flatliner to Grayson Waller for the 1, 2, 3. So, still your tag team champions is Damian Priest and R-Truth. We then take a look at the Undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Sorry. Oh. And then Jay Cargill's music hit, and she makes her way down to the ring with Meechin and B5. Jay then grabs the mic, but before she can speak or ask to be acknowledged, Rhea Ripley's music hits and she interrupts. What's going on, Peter? Peter, are you able to hear me pretty well on YouTube? So Peter says he believes Reigns will be betrayed, but I don't know. I think it's pretty locked in that Roman's winning. Jay grabs a mic, but before she can speak, Rhea interrupts. She makes her way down to the apron, and she tells Jade she wanted to come out before Jade wastes everyone's time. Rhea then says she would love to lay out Jade right now, but she doesn't want to give her an excuse at WrestleMania. Rhea then says she isn't a patient person in most cases. Rhea then says Jade is lucky she isn't going into the ring to kick her ass. Rhea then says you haven't given her a chance to be face to face. Rhea then says it is because you are scared. Rhea then says she can't wait to embarrass Jade at WrestleMania. B5 then says the only person who should be embarrassed is you. She then says you keep coming for Jade, but you fail. Rhea then says she hasn't had the chance to come for her. Rhea then says since you won Elimination Chamber, all you have done is hide. Rhea then says you hide behind them, you hide behind social media. Rhea then says you do everything to avoid being face to face with her. Rhea then says this is your last chance to say anything to her alone. Jade says she has this. Cody will turn heel, good guy. There is a possibility that Rock could be the one to betray Reigns if Punk wins. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't count on it. I don't know. Possibly, but I don't know. I think Roman's pretty locked in to win for sure. I don't know what's going to happen with Cody and Randy. I think there's still a chance Cody could win that. I think he could go heel, but we'll see. Jade then asked if she is scared of a cosplay goth kid with insecurities. Have I been to Heidi? I have not. Jade then says she is everything Rhea wishes to be. Jade then says a real bitch. Jade then says you get your way because of the weak ass locker room. Jade then says she is sparing Rhea. Jade then says she will bring belt to ass and beat her ass at WrestleMania. Rhea then laughs about wanting to be like Jade. Rhea then says she has been fighting people like Jade her entire career. She then says, do you think her insecurities hold her back? I have not been to Venezuela, Cuba, Peru, or Paraguay. She then says they make her who she is today. She then says she's a multi-time world champion. She then says if you want to make it quick at WrestleMania, they can do it. She then says it won't be in your favor, and she calls Jade a narcissistic bitch. Jade then holds up the women's championship belt and stares down Rhea. Nope, I haven't been to any of those places. Jade then leaves the ring. We then see Solid Cole with the MFTs. He says they work together as a team. Tama then sarcastically agreed that I have been to Jamaica before on a cruise. Thomas then sarcastically agrees that they did this as a team. Solo then tells Tala to win the battle royal and bring the trophy back to them. Solo then says he is going to talk to Nick about getting the tag titles back. So then Tiffany Stratton makes her way onto the ring for the next match of the night, followed by Jordan Grace. It's going to be a WWE Women's United States Championship #1 contenders match. Juggernaut Jordan Grace, welcome back from injury, versus Tiffany Stratton. The match is all both women shaking hands. They lock up. Grayson sends it in a side headlock. Tiffany hits a leapfrog. Grayson gets Tiffany up. Tiffany has a sunset flip for a near fall. Tiffany misses a round kick. They lock up again, and Grace hits a forearm. Obviously, Julia and Kiana James were at ringside. Tiffany then does some back handsprings. Grayson goes for hip toss, but Tiffany countered with a facebuster for a count of 2. Jordan Grayson back Tiffany into the turnbuckles, and she hits a clothesline for 2. Tiffany avoids a clothesline, but Jordan Grace gets Tiffany on her shoulders and hot shots her into the ropes and hits a clothesline for a near fall. Tiffany blocks a pump handle slam, but Grace hits several knees and a short arm clothesline. Grace then hits a chop to the back of the neck and clothesline to the throat and back of the neck. Tiffany hits a running back elbow. Tiffany sends Grace to the turnbuckles and she kicks Jordan. Tiffany hits a suplex and she floats over for a near fall. Tiffany then chokes Grace in the ropes and hits a running hip to the back and she gets a count of 2. Grace then pushes Tiffany away and Tiffany hits a few kicks and forearms. Tiffany hits a back elbow and she gets a count of 2. Grace then hits an Irish whip and a standing power slam, and then she hits a Vader bomb for a count of 2. Grace hits several forearms in the corner. Tiffany fires back with a kick and she goes for a suplex in the corner, but Grace puts Tiffany on the turnbuckles. Grayson hits a superplex and she rolls, but Tiffany countered with the DDT. Tiffany and Grayson exchange forearms and chops. Tiffany then hits a kick and a headbutt, but she goes for a double stomp and Jordan countered with a sunset flip. Tiffany then hits a headbutt and drop kick for a count of 2. Grayson hits several headbutts in the ropes. She gets Tiffany up and hits a rolling death valley driver. Jordan Grayson hits a package sit-down powerbomb for a count of 2. Grayson goes for a rudder breaker, but Tiffany escapes and hits a handspring cutter. Tiffany then hits the Alabama slam and goes up top and hits the prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3. Better hold on to that title tight, Julia. We have a new #1 contender, and that is Tiffany Stratton, which Julia just beat her last week. So don't know how that makes a whole lot of sense. After the match, Tiffany has some words with Julia. We then see Trick Williams walking in the backstage area. Trick Williams' music hits. He makes his way down to the ring. Trick grabs. I don't know why my phone keeps doing that. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get comfortable here. All right, so Trick grabs the microphone and starts talking about saying, usually he comes out with all smiles and jokes, but not tonight. Trick then says, oh my God, why is my doing that? Trickton says he has something to get off his chest, and we're going to talk about it. Trickton says last week, Sami Zayn crossed the line and to roll the footage. We then see a clip where Sami Zayn hit Lil Yachty with the Aluva kick, but Trick won his match. Trickton says last week, Zayn hit his friend with the Aluva kick. Trickton says last week, Sami Zayn hurt his friend with the Aluva kick. Trickton says he doesn't know when Little Yachty is coming back. Trickton says if he is coming back tomorrow or Sunday. Trickton says, but Sami Zayn did something worse than hurt his friend. He hurt Trick's entrance at WrestleMania with that haluva kick. Trickton says they are not waiting until Sunday. Trickton says grown folks are talking and they will take care of business now, and he tells the gingerbread man to come out. Sammy's music then hits. Someone else makes their way out in a gingerbread man costume. WWE loves Masked Man, and now they love gingerbread man costumes. Trickton asks to cut the music, and the gingerbread man gets in the ring. Trickton introduces Sami Zayn, the gingerbread man. Trickton says he is supposed to be upset at Sami, but as he is in his face looking at him, Sami looks upset himself. Trickton asks him what is wrong, and was there no diehard Sami Zayn fans last week in San Jose? Trickton says maybe there are some diehard Sami Zayn fans tonight, and the fans boo. Trickton says maybe all the diehard Sami Zayn fans are in Drury Lane. Trickton said when life gives you lemons, you put on your lemon pepper steppers and mind your business when grown folks are talking. Trickton says on Sunday it is about him, his first WrestleMania, his moment to get the title. He will do what it takes to get the title. Trickton says he is going to whoop something, and the fans sing "Whoop That Trick." Sami Zayn then makes his way out and says that is funny, and the fans boo. Sami then says he is glad that Trick is having a lot of fun, and he is taking his first WrestleMania seriously. Sami then says he wishes he was having as much fun as he is, but he has not been having a good time in a very long time. Sami then says he is walking into WrestleMania as United States Champion, and he is not having a very good time. Sami then says by the sounds of it, it sounds like a lot of fans here have not been having a whole lot of fun lately. Sami then says he doesn't know what he did wrong. But the truth is that he doesn't care because he is doing this, and he does this every day for the ride or die Sami Zayn fans. Sami then says the ones who have been with him since day one. Sami then gets in the ring. Sami then says, make no mistake, there are plenty of ride or die Sami Zayn fans, and plenty in Las Vegas. They will be in his corner at WrestleMania. Fans then chant, shut the F up. Sami then says since Trick showed up on SmackDown and interrupted him, everyone was talking about Trick like he was the future of the industry, and he agreed. Sami then says, but he hasn't shown him a whole lot. Sami then says he has a great entrance, a catchy catchphrase, and he can drop a pretty decent diss track. But Trick hasn't shown him anything where it counts in the ring when it matters. Sami then says when he looks at Trick, he doesn't see the future of the business anymore. Sami then says he sees a little punk rookie. Sami then says one who is about to walk into his first WrestleMania against one of the best to ever do it. Sami then said instead of taking things seriously, he walked into the biggest match of his life without a plan. Trick, oh my God, phone is acting like an idiot. Sorry guys, my phone's like acting like a donkey. Trick tells him, oh my God. My phone man was super weird. Trickton tells him he is the plan. Trickton says He has been for 4 months. Trick then says Sammy now combs his hair, and Sammy's breath smells like 10 pounds of bounce that ass. Trick then says Sammy can't find Zane anymore, but he is Zane, one of the most respected guys in the locker room with all the titles. But he threw all that away because this rookie got in the game. Trick then asked Sammy, who doesn't have a plan, to look at him when he is talking to him. Trick then says because the truth is, he is the one that's going to get the job done, and let's talk about it. Sammy then says Trick thinks this is his big plan, him standing in the ring 2 days before WrestleMania with a gingerbread man. Trick then says he is standing in the ring with 2 gingerbread men. Sammy then throws the title and hits Trick with the right hand. Trick then delivers the right hand, but Sammy hits a clothesline, and Trick goes to the outside of the ring. Sammy then turns around, and the gingerbread man is in the corner. Sammy then hits the gingerbread man with the Luba kick. He then turns around, and Trick hits him with the Trick shot. Trick then raises the United States title in the air, and Trick's music hits. That's not really usually a good sign. Trick stood tall, but we will see. Wrestling 101 usually says that person standing tall usually doesn't win, so we will see. We then see the undisputed WWE SmackDown champion Cody Rhodes get out of his tour bus. We then get a video package for the tag teams in the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania 42, but we only heard from Brie Bella. Could Paige be taking Nikki's spot? Charlotte and Alexa then make their way onto the ring for the next match of the night, followed by Bayley and Lyra. These people, they've wrestled a lot. So the match on top of Charlotte bounced off the rope to knock Lyra off the turnbuckles, and Lyra and Flair have words. Lyra delivers several forearms. Lyra hits a spinning heel kick to Flair, and Bayley is sent into the ring step. But out comes Nia Jax. Nia then hits a splash to Lyra, and a Lash attacks Alexa. Lash then hits a bicycle kick to Charlotte. Nia and Lash and hit several splashes to Bayley. Lyra then hits a forearm to Lash, and Nia sends Lyra to the mat. This match ended in a no contest, and it didn't take long to do so. After the match, Lash and Nia take out Flair, Bliss, Lyra, and Bayley. Lash then runs over Flair with a big boot, but Bayley jumps on Nia's spine. Lash then comes to Nia's aid, but Lyra hits several right hands on Lash. Lash then nails her and holds Lyra in place for Nia to fly off the middle rope. Lash and Nia then stand tall in the ring, holding up their women's tag team belts. So they're definitely probably dropping those titles tomorrow. We then take a look at video package of Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. So then we go to the participants of the main event of the night, make their way down to the ring for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Obviously, we've seen Joe Henry, several Shallow Hill, Royce Keys, Tala Tonga, Kit Wilson, Otis, several other people. Angel Umberto, Axiom, Johnny Gargano. Match starts off with Gargano laying on the mat while Kit Wilson is eliminated by Joe Henry after tripping over Gargano. Nathan Frazier then hangs on and he kicks Sabin. Axiom then sends Sabin to the apron, and Sabin gets Frazier up. They exchange punches. Frazier then hits a thrust kick, and Sabin hits a boot, and Frazier holds on. Shallow Hill from NXT and LFG and Otis then fight on the ropes, and Gargano sent Frazier to the floor, eliminating him. Chris Sabin is then eliminated by Axiom. The Grandes then fight, and Tala Tonga eliminates both of the Grandes. Joe Henry then kicks Ray Phoenix while Dragunov Dragunov and Ray Phoenix were also in this. Joe Henry then kicks Phoenix while Dragunov chops Shallow Hill. Shallow Hill then punches Dragunov. Dragunov then sends Shallow Hill to the apron and eliminates him with a big boot. Parker then punches Angel Umberto and hits a big knee to Angel Umberto, and Angel Umberto eliminate Parker and they dance. Phoenix then drop kicks Berto off the apron. Clown then hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a pop-up punch to Angel. Then delivers a headbutt to Angel, and Royce Keys eliminates Clown. Axiom then kicks Gargano, but Gargano hits a slingshot DDT onto the apron to eliminate Axiom. Ray then eliminates Alex Shelley. Phoenix then drop kicks Gargano on a slingshot spear. Apollo Crews is then sent to the apron, and Shinsuke Nakamura eliminates him. Joe Henry then hits a follow-away slam, and he catches Gargano off the turnbuckles and hits another follow-away slam. Joe Henry then does the famous Joe Henry turn, and Aleister Black eliminates Joe Henry. Could be setting up a good feud there. Ken Wild and Crews then go after Tala, but Tala sends Crews to the apron. Tala then slings Wild over the top rope, and he eliminates Crews by pushing him off. A group of people then go after Tala, but he pushes them all off. Tala Tonga then hits an uppercut and a clothesline. Ray Phoenix then hits several kicks, but they have no effect. And then Tala Tonga sends Ray Phoenix on the turnbuckles. Tala then catches Phoenix off the ropes and chokeslams him onto the apron, and Phoenix is eliminated. Aleister Black then eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura. Ila Dragunov then hits a high running knee to Aleister Black, and Ila Dragunov is sent to the apron. Dragunov then hits a punch, and Black kicks Dragunov off to the turnbuckles to eliminate Aleister Black. Cesaro then hits a German suplex to Black. Oh, I'm sorry, Dragunov was eliminated by Black. Cesaro then hits a German suplex to Black, but Black hits a Black Mass and eliminates Cesaro. Otis is not happy with Black. Otis hits several clotheslines and a slam to Angel. Otis then hits a splash to Angel and Gargano in the corner. Angel is then eliminated, and Gargano takes a nap on the mat. Otis then hits a caterpillar, and he eliminates Johnny Gargano. Otis encounters a Rough Rider with a powerbomb, and Matt is eliminated. So Otis had a pretty good showing. We're now down to Otis, Aleister Black, Tala Tonga, and Royce Keys. Otis then hits a clothesline to Black, but Black hits a Black Mass. Black then hits a knee to Keys, but Royce Keys clotheslined Aleister Black over the top rope to eliminate him. Now that could be a future feud right there with Aleister Black and Royce Keys. So now we're down to 3. Otis then hits a shoulder tackle to Keys and Tala Tonga. Otis then hits a slam to Keys, and Tala hits a big boot to Otis. Tala Tonga then eliminates Otis. We're now down to Tala Tonga and Royce Keys. Tala Tonga then grabs Keys, but Keys escapes the chokeslam, and Keys hits a spine buster, and he clotheslines Tala Tonga over the top rope to the floor. And Royce Keys is your 2026 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Congratulations to Royce Keys. So we then get a video package for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. So then we get to the final segment of the night. I've been rolling through SmackDown. It's a 3-hour show, and we're right at an hour, so right on track. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes music hit. He makes his way down to the ring. Cody then grabs the mic and starts off by asking Las Vegas what do they want to talk about. Love you, Cody, but I'm sick of hearing that, even though you did use the Golden Boy reference in interview today. It's like the 5th time, man. You're going to come out in that Golden Boy gear or what? Cody grabs the mic he says, Cody then says they are not going to talk about the last 3 WrestleManias and the conspiracy of people needing him. Cody then says whether it's the final boss, Travis Scott, or someone he will not name, but that person should go home, referring to Pat McAfee. Cody then says tomorrow is simple. Cody then says it is about 2 men in a contest fighting for the biggest prize in the game. Cody then says he will be fighting his friend Randy Orton. Cody then says he does not subscribe to the conspiracy theory. Cody then says Randy was talking about how he takes. Cody then says that is an interesting choice of words from Randy because Randy has never taken responsibility for himself. Cody then says Randy burned everything in his path in 2009 and he lost. Cody then says as good as Randy has become, he is now associated with a word most. And then I don't know why, but out of nowhere comes the best in the world, the current WWE Raw Men's Heavyweight Champion CM Punk interrupts. He makes his way down to the ring. Cody then asks Punk, champ to champ and friend to friend, if they shake hands and hug, will he kick Cody in the balls and turn on him like the rest of them? Could that be a precursor? I don't know. Punk then says there are a lot of people who deserve to be kicked in the balls, but Cody isn't one of them. He then says he might have a little advice, and he wants to make sure that Cody doesn't talk about a tourist who doesn't deserve their time. Punk then asks if Cody is wearing a bow tie, and Cody's like, well, we're about to get ready to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Cody then says they have the Hall of Fame. He then says Punk looks dapper. Punk then says the last time he wore a suit in a WWE ring might have been Teddy Long's wedding. Punk then says they talk about their past. He wants to relish in the fact that both of them are standing in the middle of the ring as friends and champions headlining WrestleMania. He then says they are beyond Punk giving Cody advice because you have done things Punk has never done. Punk then tells Cody to focus on Randy. He then says you have learned from Cena and your father. He then says he doesn't know what will happen this weekend, and on Monday he will be here. Punk then said, all right, he then said he doesn't know what will happen this weekend and on Monday, but he said you will be here. Punk then says he will be here as well. He then says you helped to build this. Punk then asks the people to be with them on their next adventure. Punk then says he is proud of Cody and tells him to get the job done and have some fun. Cody then tells Punk to stay in the ring. He then says there is one thing he wants to share with Punk. He then says he knows who Punk is up against. He then says he is facing a man they made terms for. He then says you're against the most dominant in the business, referring to Roman Reigns. He then says you are not born into this. He then says you came into this because you loved it. He then says you trained with Harley Race and hung out with Terry Funk. He then says you were gone for 10 years, but they still chanted your name and they chanted it loudly. He then says you could have came back and waved your hat and done the greatest hits, but you came back better than ever. Cody then says Shawn Michaels came back after 5 years from an injury. He then says you are back. He then says maybe you will be the new Mr. WrestleMania. Cody then tells Punk that he is one of the few who can say it. He then thanks Punk for teaching him and sharing this moment. Cody then says someone who took a great deal of counsel with. Cody then said his dad, Dusty, would be very proud of Punk, and Cody started to obviously tear up. Then they then shake hands and hug. Cody's music then hits. Punk then says to cut the music. He then says he is not trying to cry on a Friday night in Vegas. He will cry on Sunday after he beats Roman's ass. He then said these titles are as much for the fans as they are theirs, and they're here to celebrate with the people. They then leave the ring, and a WrestleMania video package airs as the show comes to a close. So Cody and Punk were here to celebrate with the people. So that is pretty much it, guys, in a nutshell for the April 17th, 2026 WWE SmackDown recap. I do apologize last night. I had some stuff to take care of. Wasn't able to make the TNA recap show. But shout out to 220 people that has tuned in live tonight for the SmackDown recap show. I am excited for WrestleMania for the most part, but I'm not getting my hopes up either. So tomorrow's a long day. Obviously, the pre-show starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're looking at about 17 to 18 hours of wrestling. Starting with a 3-hour pre-show tomorrow. I believe about a four. I'm going to probably end up having to change my recap time for night 1 and night 2, depending on when the post show goes off. I'll talk to you guys about that when I talk about the rest of the week and what I have coming up next week. But WWE put out that it's going to be at least 17 to 18 hours of televised programming, between 6 hours of pre-shows between Saturday and Sunday, and then for at least 4 hours of the regular card, and then a 1 hour post show. So, and then we have the Hall of Fame tonight. So it's a lot of stuff going on. But I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. The Unseen Blinghausen SmackDown was terrible. Shout out to Raymond for coming in, and Peter Anthony Fernandez. All right, guys. Like I said, I was going to try to shorten up this SmackDown. Wasn't really a whole lot to talk about. It's kind of been like the SmackDowns have been for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks at least for sure. Wasn't great. But it's a go-home show, and WrestleMania 42 it's officially Saturday on the East Coast, so it's officially today. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the outro, and I will be back to tell you guys where you can find me on my socials and what I have coming up for the rest of this weekend and next week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you for tuning in to your Go Home SmackDown recap right before WrestleMania 42 tomorrow. Shout out to 223 people that have tuned in live to watch the SmackDown recap. So as far as where you can find me on my socials, it is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Obviously, if you are following me on any of these platforms, you will be able to see my YouTube link and all my bios. If you follow me on my X, it is pinned on the top of my page. I said this, I believe, Wednesday night. My next goal is to try to get to 300 subscribers. So if you are able to find my link, make sure, if you can, like it. Make sure if you watch the stream tonight, make sure you hit that like button on the stream. That helps me, it helps my channel, helps the algorithm. Any likes and comments from YouTube helps the YouTube algorithm for everybody's channel that streams here live. So as far as where you can find me on my social, it is scrolling across the bottom of the screen in the blue. If you're looking for me on X, you can find me at the EVP Show. And once you follow me, I'll follow you back. my YouTube page is pinned at the very top of my X page. So very easy to find. On Instagram, it's a business account. So now my YouTube link is pinned officially, like in bold, on the bio. So make sure you guys follow me, or go ahead and try to follow me on X. If you're looking for me on X, you can find me at EVPCJP. On Instagram, it's at EVPCJP, all lowercase on that. If you're looking for me on TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. Again, that's at Brady DA Goat 21, not THE, DA Goat 21. Last but not least, like I said, if you guys are watching live tonight on YouTube, we're also streaming live from my X and Talking Up Wrestling Podcast X. Make sure you give them a follow on X and a subscription on YouTube as well. But if you are watching live on YouTube tonight, please hit that like button and please turn on the notification bell so you'll know when I'm going live. And like I said, please share with your friends and family. I believe I'm at 217 subscribers, 216, 217, something like that. So I'm about 84 away from 300 subscribers. So yeah, definitely going to try to do a little bit more promoting of the YouTube channel in the coming weeks to try to get some more subscribers, get some more people in here. So yeah, but if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to the search bar and type in at the EVP Show, and it will come up. You'll see tons of lives, tons of shorts, tons of content each and every week here on the EVP Show. What I have coming up next tomorrow is WrestleMania, and it is night 1 of WrestleMania. Tune in either at 11 or 11:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night for your WrestleMania Night 1 recap show. Hit that notification bell. If you got the notification bell turned on, you will be notified when I go live tomorrow night for the Night 1 recap show. Sunday, there is no scoops because it's night 2 of WrestleMania, but tune in at 11:30 or between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern Sunday night for the WrestleMania Night 2 recap show. I'm back Monday night. It is the Raw after WrestleMania. Tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap show. Tuesday night, I'm also back again at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT recap show. And then Wednesday, I'm off. There will be no stream here on the EVP Show Wednesday. You can catch me next Thursday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your TNA recap show. And then next Friday will be the first episode of SmackDown after WrestleMania. Tune in at 11:30 p.m. Eastern next Friday for your SmackDown recap show. And I'm off next Saturday, but next Sunday will be a busy day. April 26th, next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Tune in live for episode 18 of Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. And then come on back later Sunday night if you guys are still awake. As I will be debuting a new show on April 26th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time that night. It's going to be coming on TV on A&E at 10 p.m. Eastern Sunday night. It will be LFG Season 3, Episode number 1. So I will be recapping Episode 1 Sunday, April 26th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. With that being said, guys, that is your SmackDown recap. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to the YouTube channel. And please, if you go back and watch this live later on at some point, which I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be busy all weekend, but if you are able to go back and watch this live, please hit that like button. It definitely helps me out. And send the link of my YouTube page to your friends and family if they enjoy wrestling content. So it can help me get 200-300 subscribers by the time SummerSlam gets around. With that being said, guys, enjoy the Hall of Fame and enjoy night 1 of WrestleMania tomorrow. It is going to be a long day of wrestling action. So try to pace yourself, get you some good food. You know, if you're watching with friends, have fun. Keep an open mind. That's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night at somewhere between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the night WrestleMania 42 Night 1 recap show. With that being said, guys, enjoy the Hall of Fame. If you're going to stay up to 4 a.m. to watch it, I'm probably going to watch a little bit of it, catch the rest in the morning when I wake up. But I will see you guys tomorrow night between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the WrestleMania 42 Night 1 recap show. That being said, I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. And DWE is the place to be. And I will make sure you hit that notification, guys. The next 2 days are going to be big. Tune in tomorrow night between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the WrestleMania Night 1 recap show. Enjoy the Hall of Fame, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Night 1 recap show. Good night, everyone.